1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Oh Lord. 1 2. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have sound. If I'm not mistaken, could we have some? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. What the hell happened there? This is crazy. This is crazy. I had to go into the settings. I don't see how the settings would have changed from the last time to this time. I really thought the ship might be sunk on this particular occasion. I truly thought that the Raphie had been thwarted. They can't thwart the Raphie. They can't thwart the Raphie. We are live. Okay. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay, let's tidy up the screen. Thank you. Thank you, milady, for helping us out in our time of need. Thank you very much. And now we must say goodbye to the lovely lady with her bike for the time being. So let's stop. Well, should we stop sharing that, or should I just introduce the show? Should I just stop sharing that, or should I just introduce the show? Okay, let's see. Excuse me. Let's see if I can remember how to use this shizzle. So if I click on that, then that should show. Let me go and check over there. Yes, yes. Oh, I'm saying yes before it's appeared. You know, there's a time lag between the streaming service and the YouTube. Okay, it appears now. Good, cool, and the gang. Raphie got those good graphics. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutement, absolutement. We are indeed live. Oh yeah, where we at? Let's just go through this thing. What's this here? Good choice. Raphie always delivers. Okay, right. So what we got up in here? Well, what we doing? What we doing is we're gonna be talking a little bit of Joshua and Usyk. But primarily we're gonna start off with a little bit of the weekend recapping. And then we're gonna have to take a look. It's happening on the Saturday. It's only right that we take a look at the Fury versus Wilder 3. It's only appropriate that we take a look at the Fury versus Wilder 3. But before we do that, let's say hello to the chat. What is it that I haven't done? Okay, let me just copy that and drop that in the chat like so. Okay, right, so we good. Okay, so let's have a look. Say hello to the people in the chat. Cal L up in the building. What happened there? Salute to the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio Nation. Yeah, we had a little sound issue. Earlier on, but I trust that we are all good to go. Okay, tried to share on the app. Okay, my friend, thank you. That just reminded me I gotta do that myself as soon as we get through. That's the Leon figures. I gotta do that myself as soon as we get through this shizzle. Oh, Facebook, IG, WhatsApp, all down. Is this Armageddon? Is this written? Has this been written in the scriptures? Has this been written in the scriptures? She's Biz up in the building. No Sabide up in the building. We got the Aaron Daly. all paid up in advance, my friend. All paid up in advance. Plus, we got the solar panels. Don't forget about the solar panels. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay. What's going on? What's going on? Aaron Daly. John Daly. What is this? And the Philip Carl Roberts. Okay. Okay. I think we're good to go. I think we're good to go. All right. Yeah, good undercard. Definitely. Not sure Fury's taking it seriously. Bloody hell, I hope he is. I certainly hope he is. Otherwise, he could come unstuck. Okay. But first things first. Let's see. Let's see. Hope I got that window open. Where is it? Yeah, it's there. Okay, let's do this. Let's have a quick look at the weekend's events just gone. Where are we? Yeah, I think that's it. Let's have a look. Okay, so as we know, the Chris Eubank fight was called off. Anatoly Muratov had some issues which prevented him from passing the pre-fight medical. So he was off. That was off. Very disappointing for Chris Eubank Jr. What's his next step? It's got to wait. He's been out of the ring for what, 18 months, 2 years? It's been a long time. He needs to get back in. So that's unfortunate for him. But in stepped David Avanesian to defend his European title against Liam Taylor in the main event. Okay. So Liam Taylor was not equipped. The windows was not equipped to deal with David Avanesian, the relentless pace set by Avanesian. I think Avanesian now, is he above European level? Is he ready for world level? I think so. I want to see him up there. With the big boys. What did I see earlier on? Okay, so there's talk of Avanesian versus Usyk. No, not Usyk. Ugas. Avanesian versus Ugas. I don't know about PBC Island. How they would respond to that. Who's Avanesian's promoter? What was this? What was this? Who's promoting this show? Oh, it was Boxer. Okay. They don't have any. They might be able to work something out. They may be cool. He's called out Ugas. Yeah, he called out Ugas. I don't know if it's gonna work. I'd like it though. I hope there ain't no problems. I hope there ain't no problems, promotional problems, promotional conflicts that might prevent that from happening. So hopefully we get to see Avanesian up in top competition. That's a good fight. That's a hell of a good fight. Definitely want to see him up against top competition. Will Ugas be available, or will they keep him locked up on PBC Island? I don't know. But hey, David Avanesian is a wrecking machine, wrecking ball. We need to see him at world level now. We need to see him up with them top 10 boys. Okay, and then there was Richard Riakporhe. I'm pretty sure he won his fight. Was it by points? By points was he fighting? Was that cat that he was fighting? Tonight's card remains stacked. Let's have a look. Who was Riakporhe fighting? Let's have a little quick glance. I can't remember. the cat's name. Can't remember the cat's name. But anyway, I'm sure you saw it. It was a tough guy. It's tough guy. Some Eastern European cat, and yeah. I think it was a tight fight, but Riakpo edged out on points. Caught the guy. I think it was in the last round. He caught him in the round before the last. Yeah. Can't say I was particularly focused on that. Then we had the ladies. Ebony Jones made her professional debut against Vida Masokat. I think this Ebony Jones, it was her first professional fight. Don't know why they're streaming people's first professional fights, but hey, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. It's a tough market out there. Okay, so Ebony Jones, I think she models herself after Mike Tyson, but unfortunately for her, there was no knockout. Didn't get to see a knockout. Got a lot of heart, but she seems really small for the weight. Or is it that Masokat is particularly tall? I don't really know. But Ebony won by points victory. If you're into the women's boxing, then good for you. It was okay. I just had it playing in the background. I can't say that I was overly enthused, but hey, it was a tough bout for Riakpo. But the last round knockdown won it for him. Yeah, it was in the last round, wasn't it? I thought it was in the round before the last, but it was in the last round for sure. More competitive than I expected, but decent to watch. Indeed. She stormed in wanting to make a statement and did well. Yeah, she mentioned that she was out of the ring for 3 years. I don't know what that's all about. I really don't know what that was all about. Why would she be out of the ring for 3 years? Seems peculiar. What's the story behind that? Strange. Okay, so I think that's the weekend. That was the weekend. Catch up, wrap up, call it what you will. Okay, so let's have a look. What we're moving on to now. Let's see. Okay. Let's get into it without much further ado. Okay, so Buddy McGirt was interviewed in an interview. Had some interesting things to say about both Joshua Usyk and Fury Wilder 3. So, without much further ado, why don't we line that up? Let's do this. Let's Buddy McGirt, let's do this. Let's get that. Okay. So I'm gonna use. Let's use that one. Let's open that one up in a new tab. Oh no. That's not what I wanted. The tool open image. Yeah, that's way better. Okay, so let's share that. And let's get into the audio. Let's go with the audio. Where's the audio? Okay, Buddy McGirt. Let's get the volume right. And let's hold on. What's this here? Okay, why do I have to keep swapping these around? Okay, let's go with this.
I mean, my thing is, it's the mitts. Okay, like I say, anybody I've seen lawyers look good on the mitts. I mean, anybody can look good on the mitts because it's choreography when you think about it. The guy's telling you what combinations to throw and what to do after you throw them. So it's really choreography if you think about it. Now, and again, the mitts don't hit back. You know what I mean? So that's where, that's where back in the day, a lot of guys didn't hit mitts. We sparred every day. We didn't do all that mitt shit. We sparred every day.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Buddy McGirt is talking about Deontay Wilder's mitt work. The mitt work, the work we've been seeing him doing. The work on the mitts.
I had almost over 30 fights before I ever hit the mitts.
Mm.
And you learn, you hit the mitts if you're going to learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're working on something, then you learn it, all right, different. But just to be throwing 15, 20, 30, 40 punches, what good is that? I can teach my daughter how to do that.
Mm.
So the thing is, I know that Malik got something up his sleeve.
Okay, so just talking about mitt work. You can't really judge nothing about mitt work unless you're actually working something, working on combinations that you're gonna use in the fight, and then you gotta show that. And then you gotta show that when you're sparring. You gotta show that when you're sparring. You gotta show that in sparring. So you do mitt work, that's gotta be replicated. You wanna replicate it. Replicate it in a fight. Let's have a look. I agree, Usyk. What is this? I agree, Usyk is favorite, but Avanesyan is mid-30s, so needs to go for it now. 100% needs to go for it now. Buddy is making some good points. I do believe he is. D. Douglas up in the building says that I hope Deontay Wilder gets destroyed again. Oh dear. Oh dear. I favor Ugas. Fuzzy is here. Up in the building. Doctor, the fight doctor, up in the building. What we got here? Okay, hold on. We're gonna continue with that, but y'all must have forgot. I must have forgot. Forgot to share this shizzle. Forgot to share my shizzle. Let's share it now. What's up? Hopefully WhatsApp's back up. I don't know if it is. Let's share it there. Let's press share. Sending message. Let's see if it's sent. So I got some timer on it. So it seems like the WhatsApp is still down. Yeah, still down. So it would appear, okay. Let's get that out of there. Okay. Right, let's go. Shout out to okay. Malcolm Marcel up in the building. Okay, let's continue. Let us continue with this.
I mean, him and Deontay, you can't sleep on them. Malik's been around. But at the same time, you gotta put it to use in the gym. You understand? Like in sparring.
Makes a good point there. Malik's been around, and he goes into further detail on that. Goes into further detail on Malik. Let's continue.
That's when you got to see if it's working. It can work on the mitts. It can work on the heavy back. You got to have a body in front of you to see if it works. So I'm hoping that Malik took some of the teachings that he got from his trainer, the guy the Jersey that worked on the Man Stewart.
Was it? I'm not sure. Was it Banks? No. Who was it?
It wasn't Banks. It was
He trained Dylan White now.
You know what? I think
it was what's his name?
The last
ex-fighter, man.
What's his name?
But
Ex-fighter.
if he takes some of the stuff he learned from him, he's gonna be okay.
Was it Harold Knight? I don't know.
Harold Knight. Harold Knight.
Yeah. You know, Harold spent a lot of time with Manny, so.
Yeah, so Harold Knight spent a lot of time with Manny, and we're talking Emmanuel Stewart, Harold Knight. You know Harold Knight. Also most famous for working with Lennox Lewis. He's most famous for working with Lennox Lewis. Harold Knight. Yeah, that's right. What they call him, the Shadow, something like that. Let us continue.
And then he used to train Malik. So if Malik could take some of that and put what he has in it.
And Harold Knight, I almost forgot his name again. Harold Knight also trained Malik Scott. So Malik apparently is a sponge when it comes to boxing knowledge, technique, in the ring knowledge. You know, not talking about it, just in the ring knowledge, technical knowledge. Apparently, Malik Scott is a sponge. You know, there was a long time I was asking myself, we'll get to that later. Let's continue.
Mine, from his experience and what Malik has, you might have a deadly combination.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point. He just said, Buddy McGirt just said that with Harold Knight's knowledge and with what Deontay Wilder knows, if they mix that together, refine it, it could be a deadly combination. And I mean, I've been thinking about it for a while now. I've been wondering to myself, is Deontay Wilder doing this for the money? Is he taking this fight for the money? Because he got a nice payday. He got his first massive payday when he fought Fury in the second fight. And now I think they're going to get some more money. Don't think it's going to be as much as the second fight money. But they're going to get some more monies on top of that. That's going to be generational wealth. That's going to be enough money to retire on. He reputedly got somewhere in the region of 28 million for the second fight. Obviously, that's the top line. That's not with deductions with 28. But he's got a lot of mouths to feed. There's a lot of people with fingers in the Deontay Wilder pie. He's got managers galore. I mean, JD's was his head trainer, and he's still his manager. So he's got his fingers in that pie. I think he's got some a percentage in the promotional pie. I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. And then you got your Shelly Finkel, and don't forget you got your Al Heyman on top of that. So he's got quite a few people with fingers in the pie. And so I thought, yeah, it's a money thing, but I don't know no more. I don't know anymore. He's been in the gym for a long while. I have to lean towards thinking that, damn, he might really be out to win. After getting battered so severely in the second fight, I had severe doubts that he was coming to win. I thought, let me just pick up a paycheck, my last big check. Let me just pick up my last big check. But I don't know anymore. I'm kind of almost swayed. Stuck in the middle. I really don't know what to believe. I was talking to Rick Glazer the other day. He said, Raphie, Wilder's been in the gym for a long time doing this shiznix. He's been in the gym for a long time doing this shiznix. So he ain't doing it just for jokes. He's doing it because he believes. He believes. He's going in there to win, Raphie. He's going in there to win. Dang. I'm almost kind of believing that now, but I don't know. I'm in between. I'm in two stools. I'm in between two stools. The reason he's not on is because of his phone issues. He got a new phone, a new network, and it doesn't support these streaming things. So that's the reason. That's the only reason Rick's not here. His technology. The technology he's got over there is not as good as the technology we have over here. When he sorts it out, he'll be back. He'll be back. And in comes the Lisa Bales. Yes, yes, yes. Please no twerking and no twerking and fingers in pies. OMG. After Saturday night, I stopped calling fights. They say, Wilder, don't listen. That could be said of AJ. Yeah, but what were they telling him that he wasn't listening to, though? I don't know if they was telling him anything. Not sure they were telling him anything. Got Al Finkel and D's to feed. Got a bunch of people. Malik Scott's also been in several Klitschko camps. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think Scott is best for Wilder psychologically. Knows how to motivate him and actually train him. Yes. I don't think Deontay Wilder was very coachable. He was up until a point, and then with a big right hand, he thought he had it all. Didn't we almost have it all? Thought he knew it all, but he didn't. And now he's coming. Now he looks like he's coming to win. He's really coming to win. He's really coming to win. 1 second, I need to get some refreshments. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so now I have to consider this at least possible that Deontay Wilder is coming in there with full belief, fully charged, full belief. Okay, let's hear some more from Buddy McGirt.
We'll see. We'll soon see. Now you were in the UK obviously last weekend for.
Okay, so that's what Buddy McGirt had to say on Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. He could pull it off. According to Buddy McGirt, Deontay Wilder could pull it off. It's possible. Me personally, my view on this, I think it's just so highly unlikely. It's just so highly unlikely that I can't even. I find it hard to believe. that Deontay Wilder can pull this thing off. I find it hard to believe, but it's not impossible. But really and truly, let's just put a poll up in there anyway. Let's put a poll up in there. Let's get the poll up. Who wins? Who wins? tell you Wilder via points. Wilder via points. Fury via points. Adoption. What the hell is that? What's that? What is that? Dang. Is that the sound it makes when somebody is in the background? And in comes man like John Daly.
Hello, Raph.
I'm all right. Yeah, I think I am. All right. Yeah, had a real good day. Can I elaborate on that? I don't want to elaborate, but it was a good day. Yes. So yeah, I'm good. I don't want to elaborate.
That sounds like a really good day, Raph.
It's nice. Nothing fantastic though.
I'm just teasing.
No. I just want to explain it though. It's nothing fantastic, but you know when you just have a satisfying day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just satisfying. Yeah, satisfying. I got over some obstacles. Let's just leave it at that.
But that's actually often very satisfying if you can just overcoming shizzle, getting things in perspective. It's always busy over here at the Dawkins Towers. There's always something going on. Yeah, but come on in, John Daly. Let's not get Raphie feeling philosophical. Well, there's a few things. So, Buddy McGirt, he's basically, we've talked about this previously on more than one occasion. Mitts should not be the mainstay of any training camp.
True.
And it's been a bit tricky to see when, who, and how much sparring Wilder's actually done.
Yeah.
And this whole fight, it's so difficult to predict.
Yes.
The activity is the thing that nobody's talking about.
It's been long.
It's like, the more I think about it, you could argue that Joshua and Usyk were pretty inactive.
Yes.
It's actually pretty. If you look at the output they both managed to put out, on both of them,
Yeah.
Joshua's output was actually really good. His landing percentage was horrible.
We're talking about Joshua next. So if we just
No, I don't want to go into that too much. I'm just talking about inactivity.
Okay, carry on. Yeah.
I'm finding it really hard to predict Wilder and Fury, just because there's been zero buzz.
Yeah.
It's been a real. I've only been this week confident it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm very confident, and I've got some reasons as to why I'm very confident it's definitely happening now. But I was skeptical about it happening. Then everything I've seen from Wilder, it's been mitts. It's just been mitts and mitts and mitts and mitts. I'm fine. I can understand you might not want to put your sparring footage out.
Yeah.
But I've not really seen him with many sparring partners.
Mm-hmm. He's got Hellenius up in there.
But how recent was that?
The picture came out
3 or 4 weeks it came out, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I mean, he might have been there for ages. We just don't know. But I've discussed this with you on here before.
Yeah.
With Wilder sparring. It seemed to be the case that he was.
He was sparring, I found out.
But he might have been sparring the whole time. I mean, it's just, we don't know, do we?
No. Oh, we do know. We do know now. I know now.
I know he's been sparring Hellenius. I don't know how long. I don't know who else he's been sparring. I don't know what else has been going on.
I got it through a trainer that one of his guys he trains has been out there with Wilder for some time.
Okay. So they just kept it under wraps.
They kept it under wraps.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want all your business out there.
Well,
but then Tyson, like, what's Tyson been doing?
Tyson's had Sugar Hill over here. had him over here sparring. He's got a bunch of sparring partners. And we know he got theoretically, allegedly, we know he got touched up allegedly by Jared.
But that was the summer, wasn't it, for the last fight?
That was the last camp. Yeah.
So then he came back here with his COVID recovery, not recovery, whatever that was.
Yeah.
And then I haven't really seen too much of what he's been up to in Morecambe, apart from some really poor strength and conditioning training, which is fairly irrelevant for Tyson, to be honest. I don't think that means anything. But who's he been sparring since he's been back?
Yeah, that's a good question. Who's he had up in sparring? Let's go over to his Instagram, see who's he had up in. Tyson Fury, come on. Just go straight to Instagram. Let's have a look who he's got up. He had up in camp. Oh my gosh, this side can't be reached. Reload. Okay, well you're gonna have to.
Raphie IG's been playing up today.
It's gonna, everything's playing up apparently.
Yeah.
It could be Armageddon.
Yeah, I've got multiple people's I've spoken to. There's been issues.
Yeah, I hope it's not a sign of Armageddon, but we proceed. We proceed.
If Armageddon happens, right, Raphie, we don't have any worries anymore.
That's true, and all our bills get washed away. Theoretically, okay, we won't have any bills anymore. That's the bright way to look at it. Okay, not much new footage on Fury training. Most of the build-up footage in promos is from earlier in the year.
I don't need footage, but normally I'd expect to see pictures taken with your sparring partner.
Yeah, this time around we can't seem to get no footage. Let's try again.
Yeah, the Jagbert and Jared Anderson, that was when he was in Vegas in the summer, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was in America. He was in America at the time.
So that's a while ago now.
Yeah, that's a while ago. It ain't happening. Insta's down, Facebook, IG, they're all down. Okay, it's a conspiracy to stop Wilder selling tickets. OMG.
Just a sort of general lack of promotion might have something to do with that.
General lack of promotion. I can't think that Tyson Fury would be lax enough not to be getting in the appropriate sparring in such a crucial fight at such a crucial time. Undisputed is on the line now. Maybe they may be more inclined. The winner may be more inclined to go for undisputed, but of course, Dillian White.
There's too many fights in the way for that, right?
Yeah, there's too many fights in the way. Dillian White needs to get his time in the ring with the WBC champion. So I think that comes before undisputed. I don't think we're any closer to undisputed. We're no closer because the rematch for Alexander Usyk, Anthony Joshua comes in March, April.
That's what they're talking about.
So hopefully, Tyson Fury, who I expect to be the winner. Oops. I'm giving away my prediction. Tyson Fury, who I expect to be the winner. He will hopefully fight Dillian White around the same time, March, because they always like to piggyback off Joshua's fights. So heavyweight boxing is in the press, so they like to piggyback off that. So that would be around the same time, similar time, but just after.
The thing is, though, Raph, if Dillian does a good job against Otto Wallet, and Tyson does beat Wilder, which I'm actually a bit on the fence about at the moment, that fight sells itself. Dillian versus Tyson.
Oh yeah, I mean
that fight will sell, and Bob Arum's already talked about how much it will sell. I think they'll make it for the money.
Where would they have it? Where do you think they have it? Because Tyson don't like to fight in the UK.
Bob said it's a massive fight in the UK.
Okay.
And he's partnered with Sky now, isn't he?
Okay. So we could actually see Tyson fighting in the UK. People, I think a lot of people have the misconception, a lot of our American friends have the misconception that Tyson can't fight in the UK. So let me clear that right now. All Tyson has to do is reapply for his license. That's all. He sent his own license.
Doesn't even need a BBC, British Boxing Board of Control license, though, does he? You can get other governing bodies to fight in the UK. Who was it? Was it the Dark Destroyer? When he was going to fight again, he got some other governing body to give him.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You can get some stuff from different countries.
You can.
That means you can fight in the UK. But no, I think Fury will simply get a British Boxing Board of Control license. He'll apply for a license. He'll get the license, and he fight Dillian White in the UK. There's nothing stopping him from getting his license back, folks. Some people have a misunderstanding. So yeah, that's. Yes, okay. We're gonna have to talk about who we think is gonna win. Me, like I said, I've struggled for the longest time, thinking that with the hold on a second. I haven't even posted the poll. Who wins? Wilder via points, Fury via points, Wilder via KO. Add an option. Fury via KO or TKO via KO or TKO. Okay, my bad. Who wins? Wilder via points, Fury via points, Wilder via KO or TKO, Fury via KO or TKO. Okay, so that's been posted now. My bad. What do I think? Wilder. I really thought Wilder was just going in there to pick up a paycheck and retire. With all this time he spent in training camp, I'm being swayed at the 11th hour to believe that he's actually training to win. I thought he was just training to give people the impression that he's trying to win, because I was thinking there's no way he can come back from that. No way he can come back from the shellacking. I've heard other people say no way he comes back from that shellacking, and a part of me believes no way he comes back from that shellacking. But another part says, well, can't a man come back? Can't a man resurrect? One loss and you're no good. One loss and you're on the scrap heap. No. But the problem is with Deontay Wilder, he has not dedicated himself to being a student of the game. He reduced his game. He became worse once he discovered the dynamite in his right hand. And once he decided that he would rely solely on that. Use a jab to set it up, and then boom, kaboom. Once he reduced his game to that, he became a lesser fighter, a lesser skilled fighter. His powers were reduced. His skills, his range of punches were reduced. His head movement were reduced. We've seen the sparring he had with what's that? The Croatian sensation guy, Filip Hrgovic. We've seen that footage, and he showed a lot more movement back in the day. His game reduced. He reduced his game. So we're not talking about a guy who was a student of the game. We're talking about a guy who relied on his left jab and his right hook. I mean, his straight right, sorry. The straight left jab and the straight right down the pipe. So that's the guy we're talking about. Can that guy all of a sudden become a student again? It's not impossible. I have grave misgivings about believing that. Grave misgivings, but you you just don't know until they get in the ring. There's just too many variables. There's too many intangibles. I find it extremely difficult to nail this one down, one way or another. It's a mystery to me. But I saw in that case, in those instances, I go with my common sense. When all else fails, I just go with my common sense, and my common sense tells me that Fury's gonna put that whooping on him again. But that Deontay Wilder's coming with some improved skills, maybe a more educated jab, more footwork. I believe Deontay Wilder's going to make it a more difficult fight for Tyson Fury this time around, but the outcome will be ultimately the same. But I can also see Deontay Wilder knocking Fury out. What the hell? I'm totally on the fence on this one, John Daly. I just can't decide.
You see, the issue I have is whenever Tyson thinks he's having an easy fight, he doesn't perform. And he's been out of the ring. I've seen a lot of footage of Tyson doing things that he shouldn't be doing. Like, it's been out there. When Billy Joe Saunders was fighting, Tyson was on a bender. And Tyson's always struck me that he needs to feel the world is against him to perform well.
Yeah.
Like he did against Klitschko. Both times against Wilder, I think he was the underdog. And now he thinks it's all going to be easy. He doesn't need to take it seriously. He can go off, do whatever he wants to do. And I just think whenever he's like that, he underperforms. So I'm kind of not necessarily that Deontay Wilder has to get a lot better to actually catch him sleeping at the wheel. Like, if he lands on him, then he's shown he can put him down. I mean, we know that Deontay Wilder can put Tyson Fury on the canvas.
Yeah.
Now, I've said this on more than one occasion on this channel that I don't think a chin is a constant thing. And I think one of the biggest things that affects how good your chin is your cardio. Like, the better your cardio is, the better your recovery is from when you do get put down.
Yeah.
And if Tyson hasn't been training properly and he does get put down, is he going to recover well? So that's why it's so hard to predict, because it might be that Wilder doesn't really get a lot better. He does what he always does, but Tyson's underprepared, and Tyson underperforms and gets caught napping. And irrespective of how good or how not good Wilder's power is, it's been proven he hits hard enough to put Tyson Fury on the canvas.
Yeah.
If he lines it up.
Yeah.
So the least likely outcome for me is a Deontay Wilder points victory. I think Tyson will go for the knockout again because he's looking pretty fat.
Yeah.
And the one thing that everybody overlooks from the last fight was that Tyson's gas tank did not look like it was as good as when he's trained 2 box for 12 rounds. Maybe it's just because he was throwing more heavy shots and that took it out of him.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going the distance, and I can actually see either of them getting a knockout. Tyson would probably be more of a TKO than a knockout.
Yeah.
But it's hard, isn't it? It's a hard fight to call.
It's a very tough fight to call. It's very, very tough. I don't want to be duped. I hate being duped.
But I think this notion that Wilder has to get a lot better to beat him is a bit far-fetched. He was caught completely off guard because he was very complacent that Tyson Fury was going to try and box him for 12 rounds, and he just had to be patient and land the shot. And he was in deep shock that Tyson could hurt him.
Mm.
But I think the other thing that everybody's overlooking is Wilder's been heavily protected, so he's never had anybody in there that they thought could hurt him before.
That is very true. That is very true. So, like I was saying, I hate to be duped. I hate to be duped. And at the moment, I could potentially be being duped by allowing myself to believe that Wilder is training with full belief that he can win or will win, or can win, or has a high percentage that he's going to win. I feel
I think he's training with the belief that he can win, because what he's done is he's surrounded himself with people that are going to tell him that he can win.
Right. So,
if nothing else, Malik has got him gassed up.
Well,
and maybe that's what he needs.
Well, I just hope that I'm not mistaken in starting to believe that he's training in the belief that he can win. I hope I'm not being duped. I hate being duped, but I'm starting to believe that he's training to win, in the belief that he can win, in the belief that he's likely to win. If that is the case, and Deontay Wilder is training in the belief that he's going to beat Tyson Fury, if that is truly his mindset, then I think that we could be in for a hell of a fight. And I think that we could see Tyson Fury get knocked out. If Deontay Wilder is training in the belief that he's going to go in there and do a number on it, because, like you alluded to, in the second fight, no way did Team Wilder expect Tyson Fury to really come out on the front foot and take it to him the way he did from the very first bell, from before the bell, the sound of the bell ended. Tyson Fury was in there. Was it in Deontay Wilder's face? So can I see Deontay Wilder knocking out Tyson Fury? Yes, I can. This is heavyweight boxing. It's weird, it's bizarre, and strange things happen. But overall,
is there a rematch clause?
Apparently not. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But I dread to think about it, because if Deontay Wilder won, they'd want to do another one. You know that for a fact. But
I don't think they would. They've got like a ready-made fight for him. They've got Andrew Ruiz.
And
Kawanaki.
Okay, so let me ask you this: if Deontay, let's just look at some of the variables. If Deontay Wilder wins, and theoretically he'd have to fight Dillian White. Who wins, Deontay Wilder or Dillian White?
I don't think that fight happens, Raph.
Yeah, I don't think it happens either.
But they've got Mauricio in their pocket. I think they find a way to not fight Dillian. Do you know what? Every time they haven't fancied it with someone, there's been an issue with the drug sample.
That's true. That is very true.
Like the Povetkin mandatory.
Yeah. Somebody always pops dirty when they don't want to fight with Deontay Wilder.
Well, they don't actually pop dirty.
They're half dirty. There's
something happens, but Mauricio uses it as an excuse to change the mandate.
What a coincidence. Does Fury versus White sell out a stadium, or is it an arena? Big arena. Let's say a big arena.
I don't know, Raph. I'd say that is a stadium fight, because Dillian can sell out the O2 already.
That's true.
I think Dillian sells that fight.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Fury sells it. Dillian sells that fight out.
Definitely. Humiliation will stop this fight. Deontay will retire after this fight. It's so confusing. There's so many variables. I just want to see this fight happen. I want Saturday to come. on Saturday to come real soon.
Raphie's excited for it.
I'm excited. I just want to see the fallout. I just want to see the lay of the land. I just want to see the lay of the land.
You see the amount of fangirls that are around for both of them. I don't know how they're going to take it. I'd be interested to see if Tyson Fury got his clock clean.
Yeah.
How many of his absolute fangirls would show up and hold their hands up? You know, I get accused of fangirling for certain people, but at least I can hold my hands up and congratulate the winner when they beat him.
Absolutely. What is this? TKO says absolutely Fury needs to watch it. You'll get clipped if you don't take Deontay Wilder serious. Yeah, that's the intangible. That's the intangible right there. If you don't take him seriously, there's a serious intangible.
Oh, he's looked horrible in all the training footage that I've seen of him as well.
Yeah, it looks stellar at all. Yeah, it looks stellar.
He looks horrendous. Like really, like eating the pies, sniffing the sniff, and drinking the beer. I mean, it could all just be subterfuge with him. You never know.
You never know. You never know. There's just so many. We don't know what the hell's going on. Both these cats are deceptive. It's just so confusing. It's just so confusing. White does 20K now by himself. They'll do a stadium. Yep.
Yeah, that's my stance. Like, because the other thing is, there's a lot of people that don't like Tyson Fury, and I'm probably in a minority in this, but I definitely think Dillian gives Tyson all sorts of trouble.
Yeah. Once again, a fight I'd hate to call. I'd hate to call that one.
I think where he does have a weakness, Tyson's susceptible to left hands. We've seen that with Otto Wallin. He doesn't like body shots, and he's susceptible to the left hand. And those are the two things Dillian's actually good at.
Yeah. Dillian will. We've seen Dillian have confidence in his hands against Povetkin. Just go out there and get the job done.
To be honest, I think that's what Dillian does when he's scared.
Yeah.
There's two ways you react to fear, isn't it? It's fight or flight, and Dillian's definitely fight.
Fight or flight, and he goes in there. He's not scared to mix it up. He's not scared to tangle up. He's not scared to. He will take it to Tyson Fury. I don't want to call it right now because it's a tough one.
I'm only saying problems. I'd have to be a lot closer to it before I could predict that fight. It's not an easy fight to predict.
Yeah, it's not easy to predict at all. I want to leave my prediction till closer to the fight. It's another tough one. We need these fights to happen.
Because as well, you can't sleep on Otto Wallin.
Otto Wallin, that's White versus Wallin. White's been talking about it. Just in an interview, says he's looking forward to the challenge. He's a big southpaw. I think he's 6'5", southpaw, southie. He's looking forward to the challenge. Him and his whole team. Xavier Miller, Harold Knight. The whole squad. There's a buzz in the team. Looking forward to it, and that's what I like about Dillian White. He's a true fighter. He's got fighting in his veins. If it was him against Usyk in there, he would have took it to him. He'd have stuck it on him. Might have got knocked out, yes, but he would have took the fight to him, Chisora style.
To be honest, I think Dillian's one of the best equipped to actually deal with Usyk.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that the camera does him justice. He's massive.
Yeah, he's big, and he's
a big lad.
He's not going to stand on ceremony. He's not going to be playing. He's not going to be playing tiddlywinks. He's going to go in there with the intention of separating Usyk's head from his body.
Well, I think he'll actually have the idea of making him chuck up a lung wrap. He will be pounding that body.
Oh!
I think Usyk doesn't like that.
I mean, Joshua hit him in the body, and Usyk stood up like, Joshua, Anthony, Why are you
Like talking to the ref about low blows and shit. He don't like it to the body. And I don't think Usyk's very good going backwards, which is why I just can't fathom what happened in that fight. But that's a separate issue.
That's a separate issue, but it's not really a separate issue because we're going to move on to that now. Because Buddy McGirt had some things to say on the topic, so it'd be disrespectful to not, what's that still playing in the background for? Let's bring that down. What do I want to do with this? I want to. What did we just say? We said we're going to go into.
Yeah, Buddy McGirt's got a few things to say, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so Buddy McGirt had some more things to say about Joshua versus Usyk. Let's line this thing up. Where is it? It's there. It's right there. Okay, so let's drop the music just for a second and line this up.
Usyk's big.
Hold on. Let's do this thing properly. Let me share the thing I was sharing before. Is that it? I don't even think it is. Buddy McGirt, where are you? Buddy McGirt, where are you? Okay, let's continue. No, I don't want to continue without Buddy McGirt. Oh yeah, that was it. Let's share that. Let's get the screen right. Can we get it right? Is it right? Not really, but that'll do. Let's go, Buddy McGirt.
Win over Anthony Joshua. Were you?
Okay, it's talking about Anthony Joshua.
After the first round, yeah. He had no answer for what Usyk was doing, and he could have made it much easier.
What do you mean?
He just could have made the fight much easier. He was looking for the one. He was looking for the one punch. I don't think he put together one combination in that fight. You see, I'm a believer of this. When people fight southpaws today, they say, "Oh, watch your feet. Keep your feet on the outside." I don't believe in that bullshit. Because the guy ain't kicking you; he's punching you. So if you know what the hell you're doing, you don't have to worry about your feet. If if you get the right corner, you don't got to worry about your feet. You know what?
Interesting.
You stand in front of a guy. Oh, let me step and make sure my foot's on the outside of his. Man, look, you ain't got that one split second you can get caught. Because once you do that, right, a guy does that, and then the southpaw just walks away. Now you got to get reset again.
What do you think? What do you think it was about Usyk that made him so dope?
From that herky jerking, he never gave him the same thing. He was moving his head, moving, stepping, moving, just never letting him get set.
So what?
Okay, never let him get set.
Well, but I mean, it can go the other way. If it could be an easier night if Joshua is taught the way to beat him. Can't be trained. You got to be taught. There's a difference. I mean, you got to be taught how to beat him. You can't be trained how. You got to be taught.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm a trainer. Okay, you can train, but can you teach?
In your opinion, what?
That was very interesting to me when Buddy McGirt said, "You got to be taught. You got to be taught how to beat him." So when you go out there, you know exactly your man's been broken down. You know exactly what you need to do to bring home the victory. You got to be taught. It's got to be automatic. It's got to be, it's got to be drilled into you. Taught, not just trained. Taught. Go into it. Go into the science. Go into the philosophy behind it. You have to be taught. But that said, Joshua did a lot better. Than on replaying. I gotta do the fight study. I gotta play it back and did a fight study, but I looked at one round. And already I saw what I've said. I said at the time, when we look back at the fight, we will say, well, actually, Joshua did better than we thought he did on first viewing. And we got some stats. We got some, what is that it? Is that it? We got some stats on the fight, on the punches, and according to the stats, Joshua threw and landed more punches, according to my interpretation, more punches in 5 of the 12 rounds. So I repeat, according to the punch stats, Joshua landed more punches, more than Usyk, in 5 of the 12 rounds. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean he won 5 of the 12 rounds. That's not what I'm saying. But we are saying, when we look at the punch stats, as I suspected, and when I go and rewatch the fight, I suspect that it's not going to be as bad as we first thought it was. Don't get me wrong. He lost, so it's bad. But I think Joshua did better than many people are giving him credit for, against what could be described as a master boxer, John Daly.
The big issue I have about it all is people are still talking about his gas tank. That's one of the highest output heavyweight title fights, certainly in recent memory.
Certainly.
So there's nothing wrong with his gas tank. His tactics were wrong, so he lost. If you look at how many punches he actually missed, that will destroy anybody's gas tank.
Yeah.
When you look at how many heavyweight, I don't care if they're all jabs. If you miss that many punches, you will tire. And if he'd have been smarter with his punch selection, which I think that's got a lot to do with what Buddy McGirt's alluding to, stop worrying about your feet and stop worrying about certain things and work on your punch selection and throw combinations. And if you go back and watch Joshua, that's like one of the things people have always said, oh, Joshua's power's not that good. He breaks people down with combinations. And he's a combination puncher. Why has that gone?
Yeah.
Why? So when you look at the tactics, there's clear things that he could do that he's done before that he didn't do. That's what made the fight look so peculiar.
Yeah.
Now, how much of that was down to Joshua getting his game plan wrong and failing to adjust? And how much of it was down to Usyk controlling the fight? I think it's a mixture of the two. Usyk was a deserved winner. But when you have an expectation that someone's going to do something and they don't do it, and the other fighter is doing better than you expected, it's always going to look even more in favour of, in this case, Usyk. So that kind of reinforces what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because people were waiting for Joshua to do something else and he wasn't doing it, it makes it look like Usyk's really, really winning. Well, he is winning, but not by the type of margin that you might think when you're watching it first time and that's what you're expecting.
Yes. Yes, he got his tactic wrongs like Gareth Southgate.
But it's the failure to adjust as well. What is all that about? Because whose fault is it? What should happen? If we're going to talk about that, I've seen Joshua make adjustments in other fights. Why doesn't he have the confidence to do that anymore? And then obviously there's the corner instructions to consider as well.
Yeah, for me, I think let's get this tidied up. How do we do this? What's going on? Okay, that's what I wanted. Yeah, for me, I think there's becoming a hint of a risk-averse kind of mentality coming in from Rob McCracken. Joshua has been more aggressive. There's more aggression needed. There's more teaching needed. Rob McCracken's has to split his time between looking after a bunch of amateur fighters and Joshua. I think Joshua needs a training camp dedicated to him, a full-time trainer dedicated to him, someone who has had previous heavyweight success, preferably. It's not unusual for a heavyweight to lose a fight, a heavyweight champion, even a heavyweight champion to lose a fight. It's not and come back. It's not unusual, but I think it is of paramount importance that Joshua gets a full-time head trainer. It sounds a bit silly that you have to say that the heavyweight champion or ex-heavyweight champion needs to get a full-time head trainer. How preposterous is that? Utterly bizarre, ridiculous, outrageous.
Well, my concern is everybody associated with him trains amateurs. Joby Clayton, it's Ben Whitaker, isn't he? Got a silver medal in light heavyweight.
Yeah.
He's his coach. I think Angel Fernandez is also an amateur trainer.
Yeah.
And if Spencer Fearon, I saw an interview with Spencer Fearon saying that he heard McCracken telling Hearn they thought they'd won the fight.
Oh.
The cards were run out. They've got a mentality that you're going out there to win an amateur style of fight.
Yeah.
Now that, and I've heard other people talking about this, other channels talking about it recently. Some that I would class as not particularly pro Joshua. So I felt that the view they put forward was fairly unbiased in saying that Joshua's got some excellent physical attributes, but they're not being utilized well because they're trying to train him to be a pure boxer in an amateur style. Particularly when you think that up until this Olympics in amateur boxing, body punches weren't counted.
It ain't good.
And that's my biggest concern. I don't care where he goes and who he goes to. But I think, well, I do, and I've got opinions about it, but I think he's got to get away from his amateur setup. He's training at Finchley, which is an amateur club, and he's training with Team GB. And their idea of what good boxing is jobbing the head from range. And that's what he tried to do against somebody who is a much more accomplished amateur boxer. It's just got disaster written all over it, hasn't it?
It's got disaster written all over it. He needs to get away. He needs to get away from the amateur setup. It's not Rob. I mean, well, it is Rob. I mean, but he just needs to get away. He needs a full-time professional trainer.
I mean, I listened to you the other day talk about him getting in touch with Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
I certainly think of all the fighters in the world, Lennox is the one who knows what would be required. Yeah. I don't know how good a teacher he is. But there's plenty of other coaches out there who could turn this into a professional setup. I mean, like, he might not have a lot of accolades.
It's not just a question of how good a teacher is. You see, Lennox, he brings insight.
Lennox has been through this.
He's been through it. So the insight alone that Lennox brings, sometimes it doesn't take a monumental movement. Sometimes it just takes a little movement to make something click. So it could be just a sentence. A sentence from Lennox could make something click. Lennox has been writing on Twitter, and his words, just the sentences, those individual sentences have wisdom in them. And it's not necessarily even about Lennox getting in there, although I'm sure he would make some adjustments, biomechanics. But I think it's the mental things. Vladimir Klitschko said that what Emmanuel Stewart brought to him wasn't just what he brought in the ring. It was talking to him for weeks after they just met, after he started training, changed his mindset. It's mind work. It's the words. It's the mentality. It's the philosophies. Simple sentences can make a dramatic improvement, make certain things click. I think that's Lennox's strength.
Well, there's a lot, because I mean, if you think about, and I remember Lennox's career well. For people who don't know, I was 18 when he first lost to Oliver McCall. I watched all of his fights then, and I've rewatched a lot of them. He had the same criticisms leveled against him that AJ is having now.
Yeah.
That he was gun shy, particularly after the McCall loss. That he didn't have a chin. All these things. Yeah. And we saw him turn it around completely. Yeah. And you look at the attributes that Lennox brought to the table, they're pretty similar to what Joshua brings. But Lennox is a better boxer, much better boxer. So if he could transfer even just some of that to AJ, it would make AJ a much better boxer. And the mental aspects of how to deal with people saying you haven't got a chin.
Yeah.
And how to recover from devastating losses and transcend them and become a complete dominant force. Lennox was.
Yeah, absolutely. Lennox training AJ would be good, no question about it. Spencer said last week AJ and Lennox will not make up too many egos. Hey, you never know. Hey, wonders.
Well, I think Spencer probably does know about that.
Yeah, well, hey, things happen. Spencer knows, but still, things can happen. Changes happen, man. People can put their egos aside. I talked about this the last show, I think. Sometimes people can put their egos aside. It's healthy. It's very.
But they both got to do it.
Yeah.
Even if AJ did do it, would Lennox forgive what AJ said about him? I mean,
hey, you know, sometimes grudges can be set asunder. It's good for peeps. You never know. We can't rule it out. We know there's big egos at play here, but wonders do happen from time to time.
To be frank, Raphie, I've got no confidence in AJ leaving McCracken at all. Anyway,
if you don't do that, that's a problem.
I think the only way it could potentially happen is if he loses the rematch.
Whew, I hope he doesn't take that.
Well, I'm not really in favour of that outcome, but it all seems to me to really stem back to the fact that when he got into trouble, McCracken stopped him getting kicked off the GB team.
Indeed.
But let's be honest, if AJ's honest with himself, he's made Rob a multi-millionaire. He's done more than repay him. So
he's more than repaid him, mate.
Moving on would be a good idea.
Paid him multiple times over. Can't see Lennox ever working with AJ because he's a PBC puppet. I hope not.
I don't think he is. I think he's just taking the money.
Yeah, I think he's taking the money, but I don't know if that makes him a puppet. I think he'd welcome working with the AJ, but you gotta grease his palm, put something in his hand. AJ being oversensitive over Lennox criticism, understandably, but he could learn. So that's what I say. That's my stance.
I think it goes deeper than that. Did you see that interview with Spence Fearon when he said that Lennox took AJ to his house when he tried to sign him to manager?
Yeah.
I think that there's something deeper here that we're just not privy to.
Well, he took him to his house. He thought it was going to be a deal.
AJ, but AJ didn't sign, and I think it might be something on AJ's side that he didn't like.
Well, he took him to his house. Thought they were going to sign the deal. AJ flew back to tie up some loose ends, and then never returned the call. So so there's definitely some feelings there. Is it deeper than that? Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but I question why AJ didn't sign with him. Maybe AJ didn't like him.
Well, AJ, I think my take on AJ just found a more professional setup in matchroom.
Who needs to retire?
No, he's Lisa Bates is saying shake my head because the fight doctor said AJ needs to retire. So
okay.
So Lisa Bates is just shaking her and she's saying, "What the hell are you saying?"
Yeah, that's just fight doctor. Fight doctor thinks because AJ lost to Usyk, that proves that Deontay Wilder is the biggest country in the world. I don't see any connection in that of anything.
Yeah. Why should he retire? Good question from Lisa Bates. Why should he retire? Because he lost the fight? Why should he retire? Because he lost the fight?
Well, if Lennox had retired after losing to Rapman, he probably would have been very rich, really, compared to what he ended up being, wouldn't
it? Yes, Lisa. We're just chewing the fat. We're just saying, looking at what the possibilities could be, but we don't know. We weren't there, and we don't have the type.
If it was up to me, they'd reconcile, and he'd take some advice off Lennox. That would be my preference.
Reconcile. I like that word. Reconcile. I like it. Okay, so we're just gonna do some quick hop, skips, and jumps now. Some quick hop, skips, and jumps. Let's go over to Twitter. Okay, let's share this. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what Raphie forgot. I should call this section. Let's have a look at what Raphie forgot. Okay, so let's get. That's not the one. Some interesting options here. Okay, cool. Let's have a look. All right, okay, so Triller, do I want to talk about this? Okay, so let me make it short and brief as possible. Okay, so Triller are on the verge of, no, that's not the latest. Okay, so Triller in an 8-page response, can you even see this? Okay, kind of. In an 8-page response, asked the IBF to rule on the Teofimo Lopez, George Gambosis matter by September 30th. The IBF hasn't issued any ruling on the proposed date change, and Triller are asking them to drop Kambosos from the rankings and refund their $1.2 million deposit. In short, there is no clarity. On the status of Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos until the IBF hands down a ruling. It's looking increasingly likely that this fight isn't happening with Triller, and that the rights will revert to none other than Edvardo Hearn. Edvardo Hearn looked like it could possibly fall. That fight could fall in their laps. Have you got a sentence on this topic? I mean, to me, it's really tiring. Every day, it's a new thing.
Well, I thought Kambosos was refusing to fight now. The whole thing is just so tired. I thought they were going down the rankings to find a new Mando.
Yeah, it's just.
I thought Triller was suing everybody.
It's just such a mess. I'm just keeping out of it. It's just such a mess.
Well, it's just a symptom of the entitlement you get over in the States with certain fighters. It's like you get a good win under your belt, fair enough, and then you think you can call all these shots. Everything you do is going to sell loads, and actually you just lose all your momentum by not fighting. It was Mando. Should just got out of the way ages ago.
Yeah.
It's going to end up being 12 months out of the ring.
Yeah, it's mad. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, we move on. What else have I forgot? You talked about Dillian White. Woo, woo, woo.
It would be a train. You say a semi. train. You say a zip.
Stop it, Deontay. Stop it. Oh gosh, okay. And what was this here? What's this brutal stuff going on? Hold on a second. Dang, I better just get out of there. You never know. You never know with them people. You never know when them people gonna try and shut your shizzle down. Shut your shizzle down. What's the best option? I know what I'm looking for. Why can't I find it? There it is. Simples. Very simples. Okay, maybe I can play it now. Let's go, because he was a good knockout. What's going on? I'll take it from the TOP. Oh Lord. Jeez Louise. Dang. That's some serious. Oh, referee didn't stop it. No, it ain't over. Hey, it ain't over. It ain't over yet. I think it's all over. Well, it is now. Dang, got the timing on that. Nice. Okay, so what have I forgot? Has Raphie forgot anything? My heart says Wilder, but my head says Fury. Dang, and that leads us to. Where the hell's that thing? Dang. Okay, that leads us to the. No, actually, I'll do the poll at the very, very end. Okay, so there's Usyk looking emotional time. I'm very feels. Damn, and look at the technique. We haven't talked about the undercard. Tonight. The time has run out on us. John D. Lee, your final thoughts and observations.
It's going to be an extremely intriguing fight at the weekend. And I'm still on the fence with who I'm actually picking to win.
Yeah.
I'm going to back Fury to win because I think he's more likely to fight Dillian, and that's the only reason. I'm not confident in that pick at all.
I hear that. And
thanks for having me on, man.
Hey, much appreciation goes out to the John D. Lee. Much appreciation indeed. Okay, so what's left? We haven't talked about the undercard yet. The time has expired on us, so I'll keep that talk until the next show. Well done, Furious and Simon Triller, since they both like to stuff around. 2 peas in a pod. Oh, what's going on here? Let me see. Choo-choo. Yeah, he's up with the language, folks. Gentle with the language. Thank you. PG-15 over here. Another spiked water incident. Damn, I certainly hope not. It was no. We just keep it gentle over here. PG-15 over here. That's cool. Thank you, Leon. Thanks. Thanks to everybody. Okay. Oh dear. Too many jokes. Okay. Let's have a look. He's done without the right mentality. The pole. My kingdom for a horse. What's going on here? Yeah, good call there. It's been fun. Please excuse me. It's always fun. What's going on here? to beat Hughie Fury next weekend. Christian Hammer, no, I don't think Christian Hammer's gonna do it. Christian Hammer's real tough guy, but Hughie's gonna outpoint him. He's gonna get outpointed by Hughie Fury, in my opinion. But we don't know. Hey, let's see. The fight card, the undercard, I'll go into that in the next show. But we've run out of time in this show. We'll go into that in the next show. But anyway, let me keep on. Jagbo with fine technique there. He's up against Sanchez, the Cuban Sanchez. Yeah, we're going to make some calls and predictions in the next show. Not this show, in the next show. And yeah, remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, hit all the good buttons. Okay? Fight week, at the end of the week, we'll talk about that one in the next show. We've covered the Deontay Wilder. Manny Pacquiao has retired, but we haven't covered that. So what can I say? Manny Pacquiao, thank you for your services to boxing. It's been great. Now you're going to go on to the presidency of the Philippines. I hope it works out well for you. I hope it works out better for you than it did for Carl Froch, who allegedly was on some kind of was on a bender, and now he's got the sniffles. Hopefully you'll get over that. Okay, that's the Carl Froch. I have no idea what's coming up. Okay, Ray Wood, what's going on here? Fury over in Vegas. What's the date on that? 30th of September. Okay, so is that a new pick or an old pick? I don't know. I don't know if it's new or old. Helenius KO Sanchez on points. Anderson by KO, Fury on points. Helenius KO. So Helenius, you reckon he's going to KO Kownacki again? Sanchez on points. So you reckon Sanchez is going to beat FA? Very possible under Sanchez. Helenius by KO. I agree with that. Sanchez. I ain't going to tell you what my picks are. You have to wait for the next show. Much respect to Manny Pacquiao. Let's put a picture up on him. Let's give him some respect. Let's give the man some respect. Let's get a picture of Manny. Okay. Manny Pacquiao. Where are we? Hold on. What's going on? I just seen something. Where is it? Why is it not shown? Oh, there it is. How's that show? Boom. Excellente. Much appreciation goes out to the Tone. Who's hit me up with the donation. Hit up the channel with the donation. Much appreciation. That's excellente. That will go straight back into the channel. So let's get Manny Pacquiao. Let's show him some respect. For his accomplishments. Let's show him some respect. Where's a good picture? This one's good. Let's open this up. Opening new tab. Let's show that. Stop sharing that. Start sharing this. Oh Lord. What's that? Is that the right one? How does that look? Yes. Okay. Much respect goes out to the Manny Pacquiao for his service over the years. He's been a definition of a warrior. Getting in there, all different weights. So much appreciation goes out to the Manny Pacquiao. Let's give him the traditional 1 bell ring. Let's do that again because the music was playing. salute you. We salute you. Thank you. Let's what? The man's fighting the weekend. I mean, the man's fighting. Is it not legit to talk about Deontay Wilder while he's fighting? The man's fighting. Choo choo. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Stay safe. Stay safe. Much respect for the Manny Pacquiao. Absolutely. Okay. Earn with Hearn. Up in the building. An old face. An old name. Up in the building. What's going on here? I hope Fight Doctor has bought tickets to support Wilder more than YouTube comments. Digging at AJ. He needs financial support to become a star like AJ. Even with the wrong mentality for boxing. OMG. OMG. Choo-choo. What's going on? So Sean Porter and Manny Pacquiao are the photos of this era to me. It would fight anyone. Credit to those men. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Josh Taylor, Sean Porter, Anthony Joshua, Manny Pacquiao are the photos of this era to me. Who would fight anybody. Credit to those men, 100%. I totally agree with that. Okay. TKO, he better focus on Fury. Yes, he had. Yes, he had indeed. Okay. So I think we've done it. I think we've got through it. It was a good one. It was a great one. It was an enjoyable one. I hope you enjoyed it half as much as I did. Okay. And yeah, when we're coming back, we'll be coming back later on in the week, because it's Tuesday or Wednesday, whichever. But I hope everyone stays safe. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to John Daly for jumping on. Damn, what's this? Damn, we got a late comer. Damn, EJ Boxing live up in the building. How do you do? This is overtime, folks. This is extra overtime.
What's going on, Raphie? How's everyone in the chat? Yeah, man, I just jump on. There's a big debate going on about the weight. Apparently, Fury's coming and very heavy. I'm like, so he been heavy. Like, I don't understand. Like, and see Crunk style, they're gonna come in heavy and make sure Fury's uses his bulk and flat-footed. You know, that's the Crunk thing. They don't tend to bounce. They tend to, dominate. Crunk. If you look at all the Crunk fighters, Adonis Stevenson, all them guys, they're quite the flat-footed, and they like to dominate behind the jab to set up the right hand, left hook, and they get busy. If Fury comes in big, he's been big. Wilder's has to make the adjustments, and Malik's come in, and we've ever seen that style is going to work. But I don't understand that you're practicing all this time to be a boxer, when really it would help if you better worked on your fighting style, because that's what helped you in the first fight to knock Fury down. You weren't trying to box, man. You were trying to take his head off, and then one of these punches, one of them Alabama windmills, they landed. So that's why a lot of people feel like Wilder, they give him, he's working on different things, and to the average person who's looking at it, but really and truly, what do you need to work on? You need to work on coming forward, meeting Fury, and putting punches together, rather than just looking for the one hand, which realistically, I think Wilder's looking for angles to come off, but that's Fury. That's what Fury does. Fury's going to come out there with the jab. Go ahead.
Let me interrupt you just for 1 second so I can read the poll, because I always forget it. So we're talking about the same thing. The poll says, who wins? Wilder via points, 10%. Fury via points, 6%. Wilder via KO or TKO, 29%. That's quite high. But Fury by KO or TKO, 56%. Overwhelming. EJ Boxing Live. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, understandably, people are going to pick the guy who won the last fight. You know what I mean? If you ever see Manny Pacquiao versus one Marquez, like, yo, I watched that fight. I see Pacquiao putting him on the ground 3 times, but then you also see Marquez get up and box him. And the first fight had that kind of, you know, Wilder put him on the ground, but Fury outboxed him every time he got up. Same shit, right?
Yeah.
But then that fight never ended. They never ended in a stoppage, right? Until the fourth fight. So this is quick now. The Wilder ended the stoppage. People are saying that, you know, Wilder got stopped, but it was his corner who threw the towel in. You know, Wilder was still wanting to fight on. Check the tape. Wilder was still up in it. And even complaining, he didn't care if his ear was bleeding. And that's why Mark Brilliant's left, you know. But what Mark Brilliant brought was dominance behind the jab. But after than that, you know, that's all Wilder kind of had. Now Wilder's got a bit of movement. He's got a bit of angles, you know, saying he likes the free flow. How's that going to translate against the fight? Who's a mover already? He's a mover. Fury's a back foot, front foot, whatever you like. The man's got what you want. You know what I mean? What Wilder had was the Alabama windmills, the thing that people don't like. It was his unpredictability, which caught Fury off guard. You know what I mean? But see, where Wilder was caught up, Wilder doesn't know how to fight when pressure's on him. You know, he was caught, and then Fury was doing intelligent pressure. You know what I mean? He weren't coming in clumsy. He was coming in behind the jab, blinding him with the jab, even to the point he was lacing him with the gloves and blinding him and putting the right hand right behind it. Fury was coming in, and you know, when Wilder got up close, Fury leant on him. He made Wilder work every second he was in there, and that consequently took his power away. And then when you take a man who relies on his power, then he just becomes an average fighter, and that's what happened to him. Fury took away his tools, man. Now Wilder is saying, "Well, we got new tools now. You ain't gonna be able to lean on me now because I got legs." Well, my friend, all Fury will do is just be patient and follow. Let you dance around until you get tired. Until eventually you want to stand. And then he'll pop you. So you know what I mean, it was so you know. End of the day, Wilder. But I'm thinking about Wilder. When he start get pop up, you know what he gonna do. He gonna start letting them windmills, and when the windmills go, the referee can get took down, the cornerman can get knocked down, everyone in the crowd down, and the last person get hit Fury because Fury gonna be ducking and weaving. So you know what I mean, I'm a pick Wilder. I like the Alabama windmill. I think it's good for boxing. So I'm gonna pick Wilder by knockout. One of them mad Wallabat, but boy, most people. You're sitting comfortably when you're picking Fury because you've seen what he did to Wilder, and Fury's coming in comfortable whether he comes in heavy or not. So that's my take.
So what happens? So Wilder wins. Wilder beats Fury. What happens then? Who does Wilder fight next?
He sits there. Well, Wilder sits there and say, "Yo, I'm taking Dillian White, man. I take Otto Wallem and Dillian White." I think you started to say, you know what? I'm gonna knock off this dude here because this is a little money fight. I'm gonna take that fight right there. You know what I mean?
Which fight?
Otto Wallem.
He's gonna take the Otto Wallem fight.
Yeah, Otto Wallem versus Dillian White. Dylan win the one who wins.
Oh yeah. The winner of yeah. So the fight after what? Let me just give you a hypothetical. Deontay Wilder versus Alexander Usyk.
Yeah. Oh, that fight. It's a hard fight. It's a hard fight. Hard fight for him, man. So, you know, because the movement, Usyk and that. But I think Wilder will come. I think Wilder will put more. What? Listen again. It's the unpredictability of them wimbles when he's winding them up, boy. When he winds them up, you know what I mean?
I see Wilder beating Alexander Usyk.
Yeah, I could see that, but I could
He's
also
got the
see
right straight down the pipe. He's got the right straight down the pipe. He's got them awkward windmills.
Yeah.
Styles make fights. Make fights.
Yeah.
I see Wilder starching Alexander Usyk, as strange as that may sound.
Yeah, that's fine. And also you could see AJ beating Wilder, or people can see Wilder, but them fights are all sexy fights. Them fights are sexy for the vowed. Usyk in the picture to be I can't go with Roy Jones. Yeah, I don't particularly want to break him or really like breaking the bank to see or pay and see Usyk versus Fury.
I want to see it.
Of course, but to me, AJ and Wilder is the money in the bank, bruv. AJ. Wilder and Dillian White, money in the bank, right? AJ versus White, money in the bank. You see what I'm saying? Them fights there, because of how they are, they generate things. Usyk is like, who is he? Who is he? He beat AJ. So AJ's got to come back and say, yo, it's like Ruiz. After AJ beat Ruiz back in the race, what's Ruiz doing, man? Like after AJ beats you, then who are you and what do you do? Like it's like you get your because another thing I want to see with Usyk here after he gets that big paycheck, he's gone back to the Ukraine. Man is living large right now. He's spending. Yeah, is Usyk still going to be hungry? Because you know when you get that big paycheck, that's what you work for. Your dream was to get that. You've done that. Is your dream to hold on to the belt? Is your dream to fight the top contenders in the division? We'll find out. But right in the rematch, we're gonna see what a guy's about. If you ever watch Sugar Lennon versus Roberto Duran in the first fight, he got caught up with Roberto Duran, call him names, he was trying to knock him out. Fine. In the rematch, he done it 6 months later. Roberto Duran was still partying with all his friends, drinking, and when the rematch come, no mas. I don't want it. Everyone's like, what? You gave up? Because he was still in party mode. Is Usyk gonna be like that? So we're gonna see how disciplined Usyk is. Because Usyk ain't never seen no money like that, bro. He's seen, his life changed. His life changed, So AJ's used to that stuff. He's a businessman. It's easy. But when that money comes, you see how it affects Ruiz. You see how it affects Charles Martin. They ain't never the same. Hey, Raphie, because you fighting because you hungry. Now you're fed. You know what I mean? What's your hunger? Like, so we'll see what Usyk's out and he's smaller as well, so his belly's gonna be full quick. So we're gonna see, what it is. But in the meantime, right, we have a great fight on the weekends, and we have a real rivalry, a real heated rivalry. They can't stand each other. They have dislike for each other. A fight that brewing's been brewing here on YouTube, on the YouTube streets for over since the second fight. People are real riveted about this fight. Some people say they don't want to see it. Me, I always want to see it. In fact, if they had a fourth fight, I'd watch it again. I'll be on it again. If they have a fourth fight, I'm on it again.
Yeah. Well, we're in new territory with Usyk now. His belly's full. He's got the big bag. He's been working for it, and now he's minted. Not just with the first fight, but the second fight. He's got some long money now, and we can't presume anything. We're gonna have to see how that changes the equation, because the rematch is going to be a new equation. I think it's going to be a different Joshua. It's going to be a Joshua who is what? How much more does he need to be than he was the first time? Because we've seen the graphics. He landed more punches in 5 of the 12 rounds. That doesn't mean to say he won 5 of the 12 rounds, but it's, like I said before, it's closer than it looked first time around. Did Joshua lose? Of course he did. But there's some modifications that he can make, arguably, theoretically, to have him come back and be the victor. And we just gonna have to see. We just gonna have to see how it plays out, how the money changes people. And big money changes people, can change people a lot. The comfort levels will be high. It's going to be interesting.
Who are you picking?
Who am I picking in the rematch? Am I going to pick in the rematch? I think Joshua can make modifications and come back and win the fight. Simple modifications. I think Joshua's been in there now. He's seen the speed. He's seen the trickery. He's seen the footwork. I think he's going to be prepared. He went in there against an unknown entity. He'd never been in there with him before. Now he's been in there. Now he's seen the speed. Now he's seen the footwork. Now he's seen the trickery. Now he's seen the left backhand, the backhand left come through. And I've only watched one round. I'm going to take it one round at a time, rewatch one round. And Joshua looks better when you watch it second time around. I think we were just so busy piling in on him that we overlooked. And look at the stats as well, the paperwork. Threw a lot of punches. When he gets the fundamentals right, I think it's going to be a very interesting rematch. It's going to be a very interesting rematch. I will be looking forward to the rematch. I think the first fight was a hell of a fight. When Joshua makes the adjustments, which are not crazy adjustments, when Joshua makes those modifications, I think it's going to be a tantalizing rematch. Absolutely tantalizing.
Okay, yeah, I was talking about Fury and Wilder. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, who you picking?
Fury versus Wilder. Logic says Fury, but if Wilder really believes in himself, then he could get the knockout. But I'm heavily leaning towards Fury on common sense. On common sense. I agree, BB. Boxing has been his life since he was young. Staying dedicated is a part of his lifestyle. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. But he's never had the big bag before. We're gonna have to see. We can't just say it's not going to affect him. We don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see the reality. Let's have a look. If a 12-round fight is competitive, I don't care about knockouts. Maybe I'm weird, or maybe I'm just a real boxing fan. Well, real boxing fans have different opinions, different requirements from the sport, different thoughts and views. So, yeah, there's no one style. Okay, where are we? Yeah, but Usyk got more tools in his toolbox. AJ ain't seen yet. So
yes.
He can adjust for the rematch.
What can he really do more than what he did? He came in bulky. He was expecting AJ to put hands on him, and that's why he put that extra weight on. And AJ never came with a storm. He was waiting for it, but it never came. AJ, I was wondering, actually wondering if AJ was injured coming into the fight. I think maybe injured around his arm, and they told him, look, just do the basics. I think you're doing good. I think maybe AJ injured because that aggressiveness wasn't there. It was there when he walked out the ring.
Yeah.
And there's certain circumstances Eddie Hearn, Andy Joshua, and the rest of the team know, but that wasn't AJ. That's not the guy that you or me tuned in to see. That's not the man. That's someone else.
He's not the man we tuned in to see, but that's the man that we saw. So he can only rectify that in the rematch. That's it now. For the first fight, he can only he's going to take the rematch to rectify it. It's going to be interesting and fascinating to see if he makes the necessary adjustments.
Be more aggressive. Be more aggressive, more passion, and don't be putting your hand out first in the press conference. And understandably say, I'm gonna say this, Raphie, and every time I've interviewed Anthony Joshua or I talk to his handlers around him, i.e. his cousin Benga, I say I remember when it was the first one was a Charles Martin fight, right? And then Joshua, I didn't interview Anthony Joshua because I could see all the press around him, and I couldn't bother to queue up that day. I remember, right? So I goes, Benga, who's gonna win? He's gonna knock out Charles Martin. I go, really? He goes, the first punch he lands on Charles Martin clean, he's gonna knock him out. I'm telling you. He told me that, and that's what the cousin told me that. Bang. I saw Anthony Joshua versus Povetkin, and I asked Anthony Joshua straight out, right? Because they said to me, you only asked 2 questions. I just went straight to it. Can you see you knocking him out? And he goes, yeah, I can see that. I can see myself knocking him out. And then that's what it was up. I asked him straight. So that's what we want to hear, because that's what he does. And he knocked that Povetkin wickedly.
That's what we want to see. That's what he's built. We want to see Joshua do what he's built for.
Yeah, what he's built for, what he's been doing. And that's what
he's been doing.
Yeah. That's why you and a lot of people tune in. I want to hear you say you're gonna outbox him.
Kent S. Super chat from Kent S. Much appreciation.
You got some money?
Get off the fence with Fury. And well, listen, what I'm saying is that my logic says Fury's going to win. I'm very confident in my logic that Fury's going to win. But the X factor is, if Wilder really believes he's going to win the fight, that becomes a serious X factor. That becomes a serious, but I'm picking Fury, but I'm going to be betting on Wilder because the odds are going to be good. Much appreciation for the super chat that Kent S becomes the second sponsor of the show and joins Tone. Much appreciation to you guys.
Hey, you gonna collect them ducats, yo, man. Make sure you guys keep donating. Hey, make sure you guys put the thumbs up. You're pure entertainment over here on Raphie Dawkins channel. And end of the day, this is coming. This conversation with the LDBC and the Fury people is coming to a head. In fact, it might finish this weekend. And someone ain't got they ain't got to go home. They got to get the hell out of here. The LDBC might be on its last legs, And if their guy goes, they're gonna have to jump on another bandwagon, but it won't be the same. If Wilder goes down, you're gonna see a lot of channels go down with them. So long, commiserations to the LDBC beforehand. It was good having you over. We enjoyed the banter backwards and forwards, but you got to go. You ain't gonna go home. You gotta get the hell out of here. That's what we're gonna say. You know what I'm saying? But but listen, if they win, long live the LDBC. They're gonna be bigger and stronger than ever. More channels, more propaganda, more issues, and Raphie's gonna say, yeah. Raphie's gonna roll up his sleeves. And Raphie's gonna go to work. Raphie's like, oh yeah, this is it, man. Because they're gonna be calling AJ. They're gonna be back on the AJ thing again. You know, Wilder's gonna be back on it. How come you didn't take my money? And we gonna start the whole thing again. So if Wilder wins, it's good for boxing. Hear what I'm saying to you. If Fury wins, that's like yes. But you know, he's still. Hey, made the best man win. Raphie, hey, I'm gone now, but shout out to the chat. Shout out to yourself and. Hey man, it was a great show, Raphie. Take care, my friend.
Hey, that was the EJ Boxing Live. What the hell's that? That's not a proper ring. Come on. There we go. So what's going on? Big Boys Boxing says, what is it? Yes, I'm looking forward to Usyk win again. And I'm saying, I'm looking forward to Joshua smashing the granny out of him. But we'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. We saw a man fighting like he was scared to getting knocked out. Hey, we see that's not the first time we've seen a man looking like he was, scared of getting smashed. Hey, that's life, mate. That is life. What's going on? Wilder wins by KO, and the LDBC will be loud and proud. We will never hear the end of it. OMG. It's going to be rough either way. Double knockout might be the way forward, but no. In all seriousness, I was asked who do I think going to win, and I think it is going to be Tyson Fury. Too big. Just too big. It's too big for him. If Wilder don't win, he should retire. I think that's what Lisa bet. I think he will retire. If Wilder loses, I think he will retire. He's 36 now. Talked about injuries. Every fight's talking about injuries. Told everyone about the spike water loaded gloves. Yeah, can't be no spike water defense this time. Can't be no loaded glove defense this time. They got a lot of people watching. There can't be any shenanigans. There can't be any shenanigans. It's too many cameras watching. What's this here? Oh, that's me. Okay. There's too many cameras watching, too many eyes on this one. Can't be any excuses. Okay, so we've done double overtime thanks to Tone and thanks to where are we? Kent S. I'm just joking. He shouldn't retire. No, they don't. They retire when they want to retire. You know what I'm saying? I know you're just joking. What's this here? All that goes down there will just move to Spence. Uh-oh. Spencer's got the dodgy eye. So I don't know. Okay, we get you. Lisa. I know. Okay, so thanks to everybody. Thanks to the John D. Lee for jumping on. Thanks to the EJ Boxing Live for jumping on. Thanks to everybody who took time out of their day to come and spend it here on the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to our sponsors, Tone and Kent S. Happy retirement to Manny Pacquiao. Looking forward to the fight. Let's get the lay of the land. Let's have some resolution on the weekend. Gonna get some resolution on the weekend. So that's great. Hopefully the division can move on. We can be rid of this trilogy nonsense. And as we move, it's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it is the hitting the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio. And we are out. Blessed.